Withhold not your truth or kindness, Lord. Withhold not your truth or kindness, Lord.
Welcome to The Notice, where together we notice the mercy of God. I'm Susan Hoekstra, your host. On this episode of The Notice, have you ever wondered how God can use your gifts in ways you never expected? Whether you're a dancer, a musician looking for opportunities to serve, or simply curious about how we can use music to help us notice God's presence and connect with others, this episode is for you. Join me as I sit down with multi-talented Judy Harrison for an inspiring conversation about creating meaningful musical opportunities in both secular and ministry settings. We'll also share details about a special concert coming right here to Maple Ridge Place this August with her new group, Voices of Grace. This is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Today, I have the joy of introducing you to someone who has spent a lifetime using her gifts to bring beauty, hope, and joy to others. Judy Harrison has been performing, teaching, and inspiring people through music and dance for more than 40 years. From touring Europe with the USO troupe to teaching musical theater dance at Interlochen Arts Academy and directing countless musical productions, her passion for the arts has touched lives around northern Michigan and the world. But what I love most about Judy's story is that she has always looked for ways to use her God-given talents to make a difference. Whether helping 122 local nonprofits raise millions of dollars through Swing Shift and the Stars, or entertaining audiences through Remembering Patsy Cline, Judy is also the captain of the ship for a new 70s-80s musical review called Some Like It Yacht. And I was privileged to witness her latest venture through her newest ministry, Voices of Grace, where Judy and other talented ladies continue to show what can happen when our gifts are offered with purpose. Join me as we talk about her incredible journey and how music can become a powerful way to encourage others, build community, and take notice of God. So Judy, welcome to The Notice.
Well, thank you, Susan. It's nice to be here.
I am so glad that you're here and to have this conversation. As you know, I recently released a new book, and it's called Gifts, Skills, and Talents, Oh My, Unwrapping the Gift of You. And I have to say, that's what I loved about meeting you in Voices of Grace. Because in the book, I talk about how we're a package. We have talents, skills, spiritual gifts, experiences, passions, and values. And when I think of you, I see all of that.
Well, thank you.
So I'm excited about talking about your package
Well,
today.
right back at you, because we heard you speak, and I sat there, and as we're listening, I'm elbowing my girlfriend next to me who sings with me and going, oh my goodness, what a beautiful fit this is today. You spoke before we sang, and it was very special.
I know, and that was God, wasn't it?
It totally was. You could
so
just feel
good.
it. It gives me goosebumps.
I know, me too. You started somewhere, right?
Yes.
You started somewhere, and I talk a little bit in the book about talents and how talents are those things where naturally are felt instead of taught in a way. Obviously, you became a dancer first because you got your degree in dance education from Indiana University. So tell me, how did you study dance? How did you go that direction?
I honestly grew up dancing. I was one of those, traveling every weekend to dance conventions, whatever it was. Summer camps. I mean, I was at dance 6 days a week for hours at a time. Really was what I thought I was going to do. But God many times has other plans and directs us kind of almost unbeknownst to us, like changes our path. And my mom used to always tell me we had an old player piano in our basement. It was my grandmother's. And I would pump that player. If I wasn't dancing, I was at the player piano singing. But I wouldn't sing in public. Would not. And my mother kept saying, you should sing. And I finally, in a high school musical, ventured out and sang, auditioned.
What was the role?
It was Mei Lee in Flower Drum Song. So I got the lead. I just was auditioning as a dancer, and they decided that year that the dancers still had to come and sing a solo, even if they were just dancing. And somehow I got the lead and literally panicked because I was so nervous. But it was this thing that kind of took me over to that next step, and I went, wow, music and singing are very powerful, and
so
I
musical
loved it.
theater, right?
Musical theater, there it was. That was opening the door.
Pivoted your career towards musical theater.
It sure did.
Way, right?
It sure did.
Which I love musical theater. I've always, this is a side, but I've always had these dreams every now and then that I'm like a lead in a musical.
Oh yeah,
and I
love it.
wake up and it feels like a nightmare.
Or you can't find the stage.
Story. Yeah, that's another story for another day.
I love it.
So the musical theater made sense to you, right? So you went on this USO basically troupe,
Yes.
and then you started teaching music and directing choreographing musical productions at Interlochen, correct?
I did. So kind of that journey took me into a production company called King's Productions, and I had 5 theme parks around the United States and Canada, and then we also did cruise lines in USO.
Wow.
So
okay.
that's kind of where that took me down that path. And then when we moved here for my husband's job many years ago, over 30 years ago now. And somebody came to me and said, I know somebody at Interlochen, they're looking for someone in the musical theater department. Would you be interested? So they called me. And I interviewed and got the job and had a wonderful 12 years there where I did a lot of musicals and a lot of different things. I was just part-time, which for me was the right way to be. I wasn't in the whole piece of it, but it was perfect. But I just got a lot of life, I guess, out of that and had some really wonderful experiences.
Yeah, I'm going to see West Side Story on Sunday.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that at Interlochen. So tell me a little bit more about music in the church setting.
So that, as you kind of heard in our story, when I was speaking, when we saw you, that was a hard one for me. I started singing. I actually sang in church in the choir for years and years and years. Growing up, I sang in the church. I was in the bell choir. And I loved it. I loved it. It was just very important to me. And every Sunday I was at youth group and choir and, the whole bit. Those were my friends. That's where my social world was also. So I did that for many years. Then we came here. Then I started, in my adult life, being a professional singer and musician. And I sang in our church, and it was tough because I was trying to cross the professional versus singing for the Lord. Sure. Now, when I was in church, I felt there's just nothing like it. Anyone knows when you sing to the glory of God, it's just different. It's just
absolutely,
and it fills your. I well up here as we sit here. It just gets in there. It is just singing to Him is amazing. So I was all excited and I was singing, and then I had somebody say that, oh no, that we are just performing because you're a professional singer, so you can't be singing to the glory of God. And it crushed me. It crushed my soul. It crushed everything.
Yeah.
And this person, the story is, they came back to me and apologized. At first, they had written a note and said that, and it wasn't just to me; it was to others in the group. But they had written a note that, didn't sign their name, and I don't really find that if you can't sign your name, then don't write the note.
Right.
But finally came forward as to who he was and called me and was crying but that damage when people's words are very, very strong and they can hurt to the core. So I stepped away from singing in church. That was my choice, but that pushed me to do that.
Well, it's almost like that doesn't fit into what we're doing. In other words, you were kind of put in a situation where you had to fit into them instead of letting them embrace you.
It rocked my world.
That's happened to me a number of times.
Has it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tried. In fact, I'll just have one story because I'm a professional clarinetist.
Yes.
So it's the same kind of thing. And I said, well, how can I contribute to the church setting? And, of course, how do you fit clarinet in all that, how does that fit? It doesn't fit in a traditional worship band. And so I talked to the music minister, and he said, well, we can have you play maybe during communion or during Christmas, time. I'm like, that's fine, wherever you can fit me in. So he tried. But then I said, well, what's your biggest need? And he said, bass. Mm-hmm. And I said, really? I said, I've always wanted to learn bass. I said, give me 3 months and I'll be a bass player for you.
Oh,
because I knew myself well enough to know that I would at least be able to landscape chords for him in 3 months. So I bought a bass, got the bass, taught myself, went to him in 3 months, and I said, I'm ready. And he goes, we got bass players now.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
And that was an investment in not only 3 months of my time, then I'm not going to get back.
Right.
But also the money and the energy, but it was also my heart sank because I'm like, I'm trying to fit in with you, and that isn't even enough.
I'm trying to serve where you need me. Right.
And I think a lot of people who have different skills, experiences, talents, giftings in this area find themselves it's hard to fit into a church setting. And just recently I have learned, I have started cranking out worship music, and I've been playing along with worship music. In the last 6 months, I've started to learn how to improvise because I'm classically trained. I play along with worship, and I've been doing it for our Monday night worships and different things, and people have really liked it. So now I'm like, okay, all right. But see, the reason why I bring that up is because it all intersects.
It does. It twists and it turns and it,
and it's. Do you remember Rudolph Red-Nosed
Reindeer? Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, and Hermie, the guy who wanted to be a dentist. And he was an elf, and he's like, I don't want to do this. It's like, well, we keep trying to find where to fit.
Right.
And what I love about your story is you said, well, I'm not going to let that keep me from doing what I was meant to do. So then what happened? You did that? You started getting a band together, or is that when you started Swing Shift?
So I was, this was when I was full on in music. We did everything from classic country to country music to everything else. And just as a kind of a side note, to me, music has always been worship filled, if that makes sense, because I believe that it's an incredible gift. Music is, how many times in the Bible is it talked about the music? It is an incredible gift that God gave me. And so every single time I sang, I felt like it was serving people. And every time you have a chance to interact with people and they see how you live, what you do, that's your chance, that's your serving.
It's your presence.
Yes. And so I just felt that gift, even though I wasn't comfortable in church anymore using it, I felt like I was still using my God-given talent for him.
You go, girl.
Yes,
you go, girl.
And that was super important to me. So, but one of the things that you had said in the beginning was my Swing Shift in the Stars, which was a nonprofit I have a nonprofit organization called Community Impact Partners, and we started Swing Shift in the Stars. And what I had said to my husband was, I want to truly use the gift God gave me to give back. How do I do that? What do I do? How do I know I can be on a board, and I did those things, and I'm, do those things currently, but how do I specifically use music to give back? So we started Swing Shift in the Stars, which helped nonprofits raise funds through a fun event I was able to have my band. We played the music. There was a Dancing with the Stars type, competition that went on. And it was an experience of a lifetime that was able to match music with giving back. And that was, it will always be a piece of my heart.
But 122 nonprofits?
Yeah, so over...
let's talk numbers here. And $4.3 million?
Yeah,
What?
It was amazing.
What a gift to the community.
Well, that's when you know God is at work too, because you go, I couldn't have done that. Mm-hmm. That wasn't me. Somehow, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about doing a nonprofit. I knew nothing.
So you were raising funds to give to these nonprofits.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
just
basically
absolutely.
What you were doing?
So,
yeah.
Well, what they did is they came on board. They actually raised their own funds. We gave them the platform to do it.
Gotcha.
And by having multiple nonprofits involved each season, they were able to share almost what I call share audiences. So people that had no idea about one organization. They were in the building for another, but they saw the story of this one. So before you know it, they're helping on both organizations because they have now learned about, because there's so many nonprofits doing wonderful things. People have no idea. People have no idea. I can't wait to bring people through Maple Ridge doors when we sing here on August 15th, because wow, to learn what you do and that you're here, that's a wonderful opportunity for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you gave back to the community. A verse came to mind. I want to kind of share. It says, 1 Timothy 6:17 reminds us believers that God richly provides everything for enjoyment. Okay, so there's this entertainment thing, right? And then Ecclesiastes 2:24 and 25 notes that finding satisfaction and joy in one's toil in life is from the hand of God. So a person, it says here, quote, a person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too I see as a hand of God. For without him, who can eat and or find enjoyment? So if you're entertaining like you do with your reviews, obviously you provided different things for these nonprofits and communities, but you also do these reviews. So tell me about Patsy Cline, because the reason why I brought up those verses is because it's just fun.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't
fun.
it just fun?
Yes.
And can't we just have an evening where we're going to enjoy ourselves? Yes. And by the way, folks, they're doing Patsy Cline this Thursday.
Yes.
August 6th. August 6th through at the Grand Traverse Pavilions. It's free. Okay. And
free.
that's at what time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at Grand Traverse Pavilions. So just bring your lawn chair and enjoy this review.
Bet.
But tell me about this. I mean, was that part of it? The enjoyment, the fun? You just wanted, how did that work?
So I was approached by a friend of mine over in Bay City from when I had done some professional theater years ago. He was a director, and he said, I've got this show coming, and I told him I would direct it if you would be Patsy Cline. And I was just incredibly honored. And so me and the band went over there back and forth for months.
Now, when you refer to the band, you're referring to what
and
band?
This is Rebooted. This is our band that plays. You'll see them Thursday night at the Pavilions. So
they're like your backup band?
They are.
Okay.
They are. So, and they're amazing. And so we went across state to perform Always Patsy Cline. For him, he directed it, and at Bay City Players, and we did that. And after we were done, we just had the Patsy bug. We couldn't. Her music just kind of, as a singer, it just sinks in. And so this same gentleman wrote us our very own show. He put it. It's only us. So It is very special. And we've been able to continue Patsy's music. And it was a little frightening the first time I walked out of the dressing room and my band didn't even recognize me with the wig on.
You were in costume
Seriously.
and everything.
They looked at me. I mean, it just was, they're like, whoa, who are you? When you put the wig on, it is, what a gift to put that wig on and be like, it's just, I feel different. I feel differently when I am out there as Patsy Cline. I'm not the regular Judy Harrison that sings. And so it's been such a gift for me. It's been so much fun.
Okay, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It gives you a look into Patsy Cline's heart, all those kinds of things. So, I mean, how does this help people notice God when you do something like that? I mean, I've got my own thoughts about that, but I want to hear yours.
People need to be able to step away from life. People need to be able to have a moment to be so, maybe it's just thankful for what they're hearing. We perform now in retirement communities and maybe dementia care facilities and things. That's part of our nonprofit now that I don't do Swing Shift and the Stars. And we watch, this is where I'm just so convinced of God's presence in us every day. We watch people that haven't, we've had people that haven't spoken in months singing every word. There's never a time that we don't have people crying because of the memories that it brings up. We have had people seriously get out of wheelchairs and be dancing with the staff.
Cool.
Like, go figure. That's a God thing. This is God getting in there it's so special. And I think anytime that we're listening to music and doing that. If we can step back and step away from our troubles and just have a moment, they don't go away. They're there.
Well, and the other thing is, as believers, is we have the indwelling of the Holy Spirit.
There you go.
So guess what? Wherever you go, the Holy Spirit goes.
Yeah.
Whatever I could be mowing my lawn, and the Holy Spirit. I'm not grieving the Spirit. He's with me.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I think people think, well, I have to be doing it like this way.
Right.
I'm like, no, go
Yeah.
tribute Patsy Cline. Why not?
Thank you.
Not?
Yes.
Why
yes.
not?
Yeah. Well, it's been so powerful for us.
That's really cool. I'm so excited. And I'm going to go on Thursday, so I can't wait to see. So tell me, what do you think the difference is between music ministry and music as entertainment? Because we talked about having fun.
I think every bit of it is music ministry. I just do. I mean, the opportunity at the end to be able to talk with people, to be able to know that they were reached by the music. That's music ministry to me. That really, maybe they wouldn't have opened themselves up to. Maybe it's somebody that hasn't gone to church and we don't know how long.
Right.
And they might ask me the question, well, where do you go? Where do you sing? What do you why did you start Voices of Grace? What did you, it opens doors.
Right.
Music opens doors. It opens doors for us to be able to share God.
It's a way to connect.
Yes.
With others and God. I know I spent my life as a musician, so I'm right there with you, sister.
Well, and you need to connect before somebody trusts you necessarily to hear why you believe in our Lord and Savior. That connection, then all of a sudden, oh, really? And you can hold their hands and say, can I pray with you? Like, wow. And
I also think that God sits and looks, he designed each one of us intimately. We're, I call it masterpiece, or a piece of the master, right? So he designs each of us intimately. And I bet he's like looking down and going, I just enjoy Judy. I mean,
I hope so.
But enjoyment, he wants us to enjoy things.
Right.
And so sometimes I think, yes, you talk about the higher, I'm singing to Jesus and all that. Now, all that it's got its moments too. But I still perform with, groups that aren't doing music ministry stuff.
Right.
And I kind of look at it as, well, that's just, I'm present there. So the Holy Spirit's with me. Right.
I actually get my feathers a little ruffled when people try to claim that that's not God music. I now, granted, if I'm out there singing and saying terrible things
kill
and
your
doing
mama songs,
that's one thing, but
Yeah.
I take a little bit of a that hair stands up on the back of my neck because it's like
I'm with you.
no. If we are always just in our bubble of everyone who believes like we believe, then we're not reaching. We're not reaching other people. Right. We're not bringing people to. They're in our bubble.
Right.
So how do we take it further than our bubble?
Yeah.
That's really important.
Right. Exactly. Because we have to be out in the world too. We have to. So tell me, how did Voices of Grace materialize? How did that come about?
My husband.
Before I have you answer that, sorry folks, I have to tell you what Voices of Grace is.
Yes,
it's another group that Judy is part of, and they're going to come on August 15th, Saturday, August 15th at 7. They're going to do a concert in our bar.
Yay! We're so excited
about that. I heard them at Creekside Church when I was doing a speaking thing there, and I just loved everything about it. And one of the people that was on Julie's board loved it so much, he's helping sponsor the concert.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
So, thank you, Jeff and Susie Leak, by the way. It's just exciting. I know what I experienced. Tell me what you were thinking when you got this together.
This was a very, very, very long time in the making. I told you that I didn't sing in church, so after that gentleman, I didn't sing in church again for over 25 years. 25
That breaks
years.
my heart. Breaks my heart.
I mean, I sang, as I sat, but I never ever, I just didn't. It was not. And quite frankly, it was my husband and my daughter that just kept saying, Mom, I hope someday you'll choose to change that thought. I hope someday you'll let that go. I hope someday you'll. And so I finally did. I finally did. I watched my daughter singing on the praise team. And it was hard for her. She's also a dancer from growing up, and I saw her doing kind of and she stepped out and started, and she just kept saying it. And finally I was like, okay, I needed to get over me and listen to God and listen to why did he give me the gifts he gave me? So why am I deciding I can't share that? Right. So that wasn't my choice anymore. And so I stepped on board, but my daughter is in Voices of Grace with me, which is also just an amazing, wow.
There's something about making music with your kids. I can relate to that. Yeah.
So she was a big catalyst. My husband just kept praying. He's prayed so hard for that. You know, he will always send me music. You sound so good singing this. You should try this. You should. So it finally got in there. And then have you ever had this where it's like, well, now there's no turning back? Once I decided, it was like, nope, here we go. Full speed ahead. Let's do this. And so we did. And it's incredibly powerful to all of us.
Tell me about the other ladies in the group and how they're how you got them to be
I've been
involved.
singing with them for years and years. They have been in our groups in Patsy Cline, in our Some Like It Yacht show, and whatever we've been doing, they've been a part of for a long time. So both of them are just such believers. They just love the Lord. So it was the perfect fit. And then bringing my daughter on board, the four of us, we were all like, let's do this. Or we're so excited. And it's just continued to be a beautiful thing.
When you sang at Creekside, there was one song, I think it was Beautiful, that Sandy sang. I
took you away, didn't it?
I don't even have words. Are you guys going to sing that?
Yes. Yes, that is in there.
I was just, I was very touched. Beautiful, not just from the spiritual aspect, which is a big part of that song, but just what a beautiful, her voice fits that so well.
Yes.
And I just loved the whole package. It was just so much fun, and I was having fun. And in fact, I don't know if you remember, but I pulled out my clarinet and started playing along with you guys. Yep. It wasn't amplified, so
I think you need to do that on the 15th.
But, but it was fun. It was fun. So what's your hope for this group going forward?
I don't have like a list of goals or a list of. I just want to open doors. I want it to, it's like we met you that day. There was something very special about that day, listening to you speak. And then I knew when we were listening to you speak that we were going to do something further. I just kind of felt that. I knew that God was at work. I just knew that. And so that's what I want this to be. Right. That's what I want that to continue to be. I'm not out there doing a hard sell or doing, I really want to. Right, it's just where does this go?
Gonna lead
yeah. And I find that extremely unpredictably fun.
And I'm sure that's what I was connecting in our spirits, because I was like, this all fits. It all fits. And so, folks, just to remind you, we're going to have the concert here at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 15th. It is a free concert, okay? Yes. We're going to take a free will donation, but it is a free concert, but seating's kind of limited. Yeah. I mean, our barn is only so big.
Right.
So if you're coming, either, let us know via Facebook or something, or at least get here early enough to get a seat, because I have a feeling this place is going to be packed.
I do too. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So tell me, what have you guys done to prepare? What's your usual preparation for this? Because people always want to know that when they sing with people.
Well, like any time you sing and you sing in front of people, just like and there's just a lot of practice to be had beforehand. So we do a lot of that. We each tell our story, a little bit of our story. I
love that.
So I get a little more into, what I've talked with you today about. And that's big for all of us. And so we even have to kind of practice those, because for me, it's highly emotional. And I find when I'm up there speaking, I tend to get emotional. So it's unless I try to go through it, then so that I don't get so overwhelmed that I can't sing. So we do that. We do. And it's just hearing our voices together, because it just has this feeling about it that we know even when we're in rehearsal, it's different
bigger.
than our other rehearsals. I don't know how to explain that. That might sound silly, but
no, it's bigger.
just,
it's bigger than you, and there's something going on. And I did love how you interjected the testimonies in there, because I think oftentimes, there are songs that speak to us in a certain part of our life.
Right.
Gee, music is a gift, isn't
You think?
it? Yeah. So it's a gift. So, folks, I really do hope that you'll join us for that evening. But also, don't forget, Judy's going to be doing Patsy Cline on Thursday. And then what's next? You're just letting the Lord show you where to go? Or?
We just continue. We have a lot of our things in retirement communities coming up. So we're doing several of those. We're going to be out in Leelanau County for our Some Like It Yacht show, September 5th.
What's the song? Tell me about the Some Like It Yacht.
Some Like It Yacht is 70s, 80s music. Christopher Cross, Doobie Brothers, It's so much fun. So I'm the captain of the ship. Yes. So we're on our ship, and it is a very fun show. Yes, exactly. So we do that. And then, believe it or not, in October, I'm stepping out and challenging myself. I think as I get older, this becomes a bigger challenge. I'm going to actually be in a show for the Old Town Playhouse as a special event. It's over at the Denos Museum, the Milligan Auditorium, October 9, 10, 11. It's called Honky Tonk Laundry. Okay. And it's... I'm having to learn dialogue and acting and doing all sorts of things.
It's in your wheelhouse.
And it is, oh man, I am stretching myself, but I believe, especially as we get older, that's a really good thing to do. We need to keep doing. We need to keep growing. We need to keep working. We need to keep.
One of the things I love about music. And I actually play for some of the shows.
Yeah.
Last summer I played for Prince of Egypt. I don't know if you were there. I was the clarinetist in Prince of Egypt.
I love it.
Because that was such a fun show for me. Oh,
I heard it was amazing. I did not get to see it, but I heard wonderful things.
It was something.
Yeah.
In a lot of levels, it was something.
Yeah.
But it had this great clarinet part that was like kind of like the
I love it.
I had so much fun.
That's awesome.
So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I just really appreciate the time, because you're obviously a busy lady. Look forward to August 15th, and just all the best to you and all your ventures. And thanks for living out your package.
Thank you. And thank you so much. I just feel honored to have met you and to come across and form a new friendship. Thank you very much.
Years ago, as a freshman in high school, I was having one of those days. I had received a disappointing grade on an English paper, and the boy I liked barely acknowledged me in the hallway. And it was an even third period, and I was already carrying a heavy heart. The next class was band. I reluctantly assembled my clarinet and began to play, even though I didn't feel like it. The first piece was bright and lively, not at all how I felt. Then came a slow, expressive piece. After that, a spirited march. By the end of class, something had shifted. My circumstances hadn't changed, but I had. I walked out of that room lighter than when I had walked in. That day, I discovered the quiet power of music. As Judy shared her passion for music in all its forms, I found myself nodding along. When she said her head curls when people claim God can't be found in certain styles of music, I have to admit, my hair curled too. One of the heartbeats of this podcast and of Affirm Ministries is learning to take notice of God. Where is He showing up? Maybe it's in that person who rises from a wheelchair to dance. Maybe it's in someone living with Alzheimer's who can't remember yesterday but can still sing every word to a beloved hymn. Maybe it's in a concert hall, a church sanctuary, a coffee shop, or even your own living room. God is far too big for us to place Him in a box. He is always at work, inviting us to notice Him in unexpected places. Proverbs 17:22 reminds us, "A cheerful heart is good medicine." Music has a unique way of bringing that medicine to our souls. So, what brings your heart joy? Enjoy music as a worship. Enjoy it as art. Enjoy it as the gift from a creative God. While some music certainly pulls our hearts away from Him, there's also music that lifts our spirits, stirs hope, and reminds us of beauty, truth, and grace. So this week, pay attention to what moves your heart. You may just discover that God is meeting you through a melody you weren't expecting. Until next time, take notice.
Or kindness, Lord.